Hello everyone, welcome to a new vlog. I say vlog, but I intend to include a little section where I'm gonna discuss Christmas gifting ideas. As always, I'm gonna have timestamps in the description and you're gonna see it along the timeline of the vlog so that you can jump through to the respective sections if you don't want to watch entire one. I just thought I'm gonna stay truthful to the type of content that I love producing. So here we go. I am burning up, and it's not because it's warm. It's actually pretty cold and windy outside, but rather I tidied up entire house, even though we had household helper yesterday at us. And usually it doesn't get up as messed up as it did, but we are having my in-laws over for this weekend. You don't hear them right now because I was so glad that Falco proposed to take everyone, including Leia, to the library. Yeah, we anyway needed some type of outing for her to get, a little bit tired, and that gave me an opportunity to, sort my thoughts out whilst cleaning up the house once again, and most importantly to start this vlog, which I'm very grateful for. It's Saturday, you guys, and you know that I want to upload this one on Monday. I'm literally vlogging in real time. I never learned to do videos in advance to ease up my life. That just is such a good depiction of my personality, of living on an edge. But like everything else in life, if you commit to do something and if it's important to you, then you should really follow up on that. You can see these beautiful flowers behind me. It's been a while that we had flowers, and this is a little gift from my in-laws that they always bring. Honestly, this is a nice gesture that they always do, and I am so appreciative of it. I wonder why Falco never really learned from them, because I see that they also get really a lot of flowers. My father-in-law often gets for my mother-in-law flowers, but like my husband, he's absolutely not that guy who's gonna get you flowers, except you speak to him about that. Anyway, not that it matters. I can buy myself flowers, obviously, but it's just so nice, I also brought out some of the winter decor bits out, at least in the living room. You probably could see that. Weather is getting colder. We are all trying to cozy up. Light is down, but I'm super excited for the holiday season that is upon us. Now, what I didn't tell you is that Leia was sick past few days. We think that she got some type of stomach bug and she threw up a few times. Right now has some digestive issues. So we've been, wrapped around her finger. Week at work has been chaotic because I obviously had to do what I had to do whilst also sharing the duty of taking care of her. We had to take her to the doctor. She was at home on Friday, and on Monday the daycare is closed, which means that I had to take off the day off and will be caring for her as well. So what should I say? Quite busy times. You guys, you know that my birthday is coming at the end of the month, and I'm still contemplating what to do on that day. I have taken 3 days off, so for the forenoon part, it's gonna be Falco and me, and we're gonna map out some type of plan for ourselves. Either we go to do a brunch at Four Seasons, or we go to a cinema. I don't know if there's gonna be anything going on the early hours of the day, because we need to get done with everything until 2:30 to pick up Leia. I obviously want to spend half of the day with her, but and the third option would be to go to the theater. Same thing. I don't know if there are any place in the morning hours, and I have not done theater or cinemas in such a long time that I can't really make up my mind of what I want to do. At the same time, brunching, like a good brunch, is always a go-to activity for me, especially when it's without a kid. So that's one dilemma. But also in the evening hours, I want to do something with my mom friends that I got to know here in the neighborhood. And you guys, it's so difficult. I don't know. I live in Hamburg, but I feel like that I really don't know the places. Sometimes when I'm talking to my colleagues and they name certain bridge or certain main street, all understanding what they're talking about, I'm totally lost because I never mark names of the people, which is a really bad trait, but also of the locations and, squares or streets. And same applies for cafes and restaurants. I'm the worst person to give any kind of guide when it comes to doing things in Hamburg. Probably the most touristic things like that everyone has heard of. So that's my thing. I don't know what to do. I was thinking about going out dancing because I missed doing that. I think last time I danced was on my best friend's bachelorette party, which I don't know, it was like 5 years ago. At the same time, when someone asked me what kind of music you want to dance to, I don't have an answer. To be frank, I'm dancing on anything, but I'm just so out of it. I have zero clue of what I even like for myself and what is out there. Or there was karaoke karaoke in game, or should we go eat something? So yeah, a lot of open options. But at the same time, I also want to go do shopping for myself. You know that I always get one big gift for myself, being very materialistic and upfront about that. I think in one of the vlogs I already mentioned my wish list with regards to jewelry pieces, and to be frank, I would really love to start collecting some type of bracelets. I don't have any. I would love to still build up my jewelry collection a little bit more, but to be frank, with all the price increases that have happened with regards to the gold jewelry and the designer labels especially, I don't even know how one should keep up with that and get anything. Like most of the bracelets that I love, like Tiffany T with a little bit of diamonds on the T lock, or the Love bracelet, the thin version, I find it so elegant. I have like rediscovered love with regards to that bangle. I know it's super basic for a lot of people, that it scratches easily, and a lot of people complain about going through the security and opening it with screwdriver and everything else, but honestly it's a classic of the classics, and I'm definitely not over that style, so would love to have that. Or Chopard or Chopard, the bangles, or I don't know, Bulgari Serpenti. They range from 5,000 to 8,000 euros, and it's definitely not in my budget criteria as a gift for myself this year. So I think I'll need to postpone it to some later time, but I'm thinking about getting the Clash Ring for myself because I am huge fan of the Cartier Clash collection. What do you think about them, by the way? Have you ever tried them? I saw them in the store, and those spikes, they are not like static, you can move them, and it's just so satisfying to play around them. The craftsmanship of that collection is just beyond words. I find it so beautiful, and it's not only the name, there you really get unique, edgy, very cool, very modern pieces. Talking about the Cartier and Love collection, have you guys seen the very new add-on? I don't know what it's called. Is it called like Eternity? No, Cartier Unlimited, I think. Yes, it's called Cartier Love Unlimited bangles. You can mix and match them, and it's very flexible, has this tactile, flexible components that attach to one another. To be very frank, when I first saw it, it just reminded me of the jewelry pieces that my grandma was wearing. So somehow, at least the wristlets around the watch that she was wearing. So I thought, okay, is the target group a bit older people? At the same time, I went on the webpage and saw the ambassador of this new collection, Jacob Elordi. I don't know if you've seen or heard about him, but he is my kind of guy. Like, I find him super attractive, and I don't know, the videos around this new collection with him was made in a way that I completely changed my mind who the target group of this jewelry is. And right now I find it so cool and young and modern, to be frank. Just once again shows the power of right advertising. I don't know how well this collection is gonna take off. It's, I think, approximately 10,000 euros, a little less than that, but it's quite pricey. Anyhow, I don't know, I just wanted to mention it in this video. If you're like me and jewelry lover and trying to follow new or remakes of the iconic collections, maybe you're also curious about that. And oh yeah, what did I forget to mention is that my SA from Hermès contacted me asking, don't you want to come by to the store to make a new wish list for a new handbag? And boy, that was unexpected. Who can say no to that? I have an unending Pinterest board for the Hermès handbags, and now I have a dilemma. I already made an appointment to meet up with her, and I know the handbag will take quite a while, but I have to be very specific of what I want, and I'm having really huge dilemma to specify what I should go for. Initially, I thought that after having Birkin 25 and Kelly 25, the next one for me would be the Mini Kelly. But now having a child, I'm torn. On the one hand, it is also ultimate classic and super rare and super difficult to get. So if I get a chance, I should definitely do that. But it fits literally nothing, not even a handy. Not talking about the camera or lip balm or, you know, like daily basics. And I already have one such little bag. I cannot wear it together with a child, even for walks. It's just, you know. And if not that, should I go with Kelly's because it has shoulder strap? Should I get size 28 and Retourne? I'm gonna put a few of the pictures because I'm also very much much inspired of that slouchy look, especially when it's in the bigger sizes. David Beckham got me hooked on that 2 years ago when Victoria Beckham, I think it was 2 years ago, when Victoria Beckham was having her show in Paris, and there was an iconic moment of the Beckham family leaving the hotel where David Beckham wore, I think it was huge, like 45 or something like that, Kelly, super slouchy, and just, I don't know. And again, that's the moments it completely changed my imagination about Kelly's in soft Retourne form, because I always thought that, okay, if Kelly, then it should be that rigid, structured, classy look. And at the same time, you guys, I don't have Birkin 30, and if you are on a Hermès journey when it comes to ultimate classics and timelessness and wearing it in age, I think Birkin 30 is a must. So I don't know. And lastly, crazy head over heels in love with the Kelly Pochettes. They are so functional, so soft, fit so much, but they don't have a proper handle or any type of strap. So again, with child, is this sensible? Does it fit my lifestyle? On the other hand, having it under the arm, I could imagine it so pretty. It's just shameful dilemma of very first world problems. To be frank, of people who don't have that much money to get everything but want to be part of it. Yeah, very materialistic, but also, what would you tell her on my place? Mini Kelly, Kelly 25 or 28 in Retourne, Birkin 30 or Kelly Pochette? Please let me know. Help your girl out. Completely random and out of topic, my in-laws brought this huge lint advent calendar with sweets, and actually the packaging is so nice. I really love lint chocolates, so can't complain about it, but I have to be very stringent and look that Falco doesn't eat it because he is trying to reduce his calories and he's doing a really good job. But you know, like, you should not put a huge temptation in front of his nose in the middle of the kitchen, right? That's just unfair. Enjoying the tidy view for the next 5 minutes because Falco and my in-laws are on the way back and we will have to eat lunch and get Leia ready for the bed. Saying tidy and just looking out on the balcony, let me show you what I'm saying. I don't know. Can you even tell what's happening on here? No cover for the furniture since forever, so they all need to be washed. This thingy, I did not really exactly get what it is, but Falco said that it's to pump out the water from pipes, so when it starts freezing, that we don't get a damage. Red ahorn is losing the leaves. That's November for you. Some random packaging and all the loose shoes. It's been almost an entire week that I vlogged, and you most likely watching this one now know that I did not upload on Monday, but it was simply impossible to do any kind of editing work or filming. Leia's sickness broke out, dragged me in. I have not felt that sick ever since I had lung infection last year. I passed out here on the bathroom floor from throwing up in the middle of the night. I was throwing up entire evening, could not eat for days. Like, it was really bad. And our in-laws who were visiting us also got sick, and I say poor them because they're even older than us, and the older you get, your body just simply cannot go along. So out of us 3 generations, Leia obviously got out of it the easiest, even though I feel like that she's still not fully back on track. She still reports on occasional stomach pain, which I assume is an acid reflux because I still have that as well. And her sporadic, chaotic feedings and irritated moods can only be attributed to that situation. Anyhow, it is what it is. I don't have team, and only passion-driven hobby activity cannot be put as a priority, even if I really tried to. But what I did now throughout this few days where I already felt better, it was to edit the existing footages that I had, and I realized that it is really heavy on materialistic stuff. And even though I promised in the beginning of the video to talk about holiday gifting ideas, I would not really want to include it in this one because I feel like that it's losing personal touch if I only talk about things. It's just not, even if that's part of me, it's not fully me, and that's not the purpose of vlogs. Also, I would need your guidance on what to focus on when I talk about this gifting ideas because the margin is so wide. Like, are we talking about rather interior bits, rather more heavily focused on beauty and makeup, or more fashion related, or generally at the end of the year, like cozy generic gifts that you could gift anyone for the end of the year? What budget are we talking about? And I know people do multiple of those videos for different budget category and topics, but I just want it as a part of my vlogs. And even if I have few bits and pieces marked, I still have difficulty if that's something for my viewers. Is it something for everyone? Is it too generic? So if you have any feedback on that, if you would still want to hear it, maybe I'm gonna try to include it in my next vlog, which is gonna be my birthday vlog, by the way, post-birthday vlog. Yeah, let's see about that. Meanwhile, I wanted to share with you a few thoughts that I've had past days. I've been communicating with a few of my friends on diverse topics, really, but one topic really stuck to my mind, especially that I listened yesterday evening podcast with Jessica Alba. I think the podcast name was Not Alone, and they talked about like mom guilt, rediscovering yourself after becoming a mom. And what stuck to me was how Jessica Alba talked about like feeling in her power and understanding what it meant to be a woman, and feeling grounded after becoming her first child, and embracing that feminine era. And it just got me thinking, because this was exactly a topic that I retouched on coincidentally in another context whilst my friend and I were exchanging voice messages. I have been thinking about it, like how much of a luxury it is to be in your feminine era. I felt like that this emancipation talks have been like pushed upon, at least on my generation, or in the context where I grew up. There was this huge switch of mindset in my mom's generation where everyone was recommended, even in the professional choices, to stick with becoming a teacher or a nurse, like part-time jobs to allocate and make space for potentially becoming a mom and having time for nurturing and feeding your family. And then my generation, where you had to be very confident, very self-assured. I felt like that in my generation, a lot of girls went more to, you know, those bold professions like becoming a lawyer and journalists and doctors that would require them to be very active, career-driven people. Then years passes. A lot of us, at least in my friends group, are nowadays moms. And when I'm looking at them and the necessary pause or the hold that you have to take, to some degree at least, in your career, I feel that makes me think how unrealistic that emancipation talk has been in a way, and how pushed down on us it has been to a certain degree. I've never been very masculine in the way I articulate myself, but I totally think that part of emancipatory talks have gone in my surrounding, has influenced the way I'm still dressing up until now, loving more masculine boxy pieces and finding bodycon, big cleavage, cutesy stuff, very putting that in that niche of like, this is too girly. But okay, not trying to reminiscence on how on one hand it can feel very different for different people. Obviously, like the environment and the conditions are different for celebrities like Jessica Alba, but like even among my mom friends, those who opt to be more present in their children's lives, like what impact that has on us as women in our futures, like how much things you have to take into consideration, how many things it can affect positively or negatively. Say a very concrete thing of like, if you choose to work only a few hours a week, or if you choose not to work a few years of your life and dedicate it to your child and live on the family costs, what that means for your pension fund, what it means if you're not anymore with your spouse or partner on the long term, what it means for your career. Can you find a job with that space in your CV? Can you come back on top of your life to have our own income source may be needed? How much is there to truly embrace our own femininity, even if we would want it to? Is the Western society, the way it is built right now, ready for empowering women in that way, of them embracing their femininity? their nurturing side of being moms. And I'm saying this because I've mentioned it a few times how much I love my work, and I truly do. I love the environment, I love the content, I love the people, and I feel so blessed and lucky that I got into it. And it was so spontaneous and so unplanned. I felt like really like I just got a joker, and I could not say no to it, even if I was not really fully sure if either me or my child was ready for a daycare. I felt like that I pushed her way too quick. Now that it's working already halfway good, maybe it's not a big thing, but even in nowadays life, I often mention the struggles of like constantly being triggered and very impulsive. If you take the job out of the context, it's perfect. But in the past few weeks, I've questioned my ability to continue working at all. You know, if I have to quit working so many times because of constantly being late, not being able to follow on my work, the level of effectiveness I want it to do, to finish it on time, to get back to my partner, not have stress with him, not also distort his work. It's just very concrete, one tiny example of it. And again, I don't know, it might now sound like I don't want to work. It's more like I'm questioning our attempt of being it all, being the income stream that is very much needed in households, be a good mom, patient mom, non-impulsive mom, emotionally ripe and in control, but also a good co-worker, colleague, effective in everything that you do. And also have a little very intrinsic and genuine you with your own interests and passions. Take care of your health, eat well, do sports that shouldn't be a luxury. Is this balance possible? I don't know. All this talk around the femininity and embracing that just got me thinking how we're dragging those girls from one extreme to another unrealistic end, or putting them to the dangers, you know, and how to cope with this dysfunctional system of families where you attempt to be it all and to be good at it all and not be good at anything, really. I don't know if it's also a luxury of rich people to embrace that femininity, to just, you know, call the quits for certain other areas of their life and be there and be present for their children. I don't know if it made sense, but here is my 20-minute long ramble. My goodness, let's see what I make out of this section whilst editing it. And I truly hope you enjoyed watching this one. If you did, as always, it doesn't cost you anything. Join my little community, subscribe, ring the bell, not to miss the uploads. And most importantly, you always make me happy with your comments. So drop few lines if there is anything that you would want to share to this topic, or with regards to the Christmas gift ideas that I posted before. So anyhow, I wish you a great day ahead, and I'm gonna see you in my next one.